I know, chasing that dough, hitting that road, getting that money, man. All I know, loading that foe, kicking down doors, getting that money, man. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it grizzly. We gon' make it money. We gon' take it grizzly.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is there were no charges for Rollie. So as you know, Rollie couldn't fight Tank because there were allegations that he sexually assaulted a woman. And so he had to, no pun intended, pull out of the fight. And so now no charges came down. And so there's articles about it. And Rollie himself has addressed this issue. Let's take a look at what Rollie had to say in the article. So this is from Mike Carpenter. This is from January 11th. It says, the investigation surrounding sexual assault accusations against lightweight boxer Rollie Romero has been closed without charges being filed. The Henderson, Nevada Police Department told ESPN on Tuesday Romero, 26, was scheduled to fight Gervonta Davis on December 5th in Los Angeles, but he was pulled from the bout in late October after accusations by a woman made on Twitter led to an open investigation. After false accusations, having to miss the opportunities, cheated out of my dream, and out of a massive amount of wealth, the investigation into allegations made against me has been formally closed, Romero said in an Instagram post Monday. Charges were not filed because the allegations could not be substantiated because I always stated I'm innocent. Because as I always stated, I'm innocent. In an incident report obtained by ESPN, Detective John Vargason wrote December 29th that after he reviewed evidence, the allegations do not meet the elements of the crime of sexual assault. The woman stated that when she voiced her demands that Romero cease particular acts during their time together, he did cease to perform those acts. Due to the fact that the woman stated the incident occurred over 2 years ago, there is no physical evidence to gather. Romero could now be in line for a shot at Tank Davis later this year. The awkward power puncher is coming off of a 7th round TKO of Anthony Yiggett in July. The fighter, born in Las Vegas, was slated to earn 7 figures for the pay-per-view bout with Davis, a career high payday. Romero was replaced by Isaac Cruz, who gave Davis a tougher than expected fight in a decision loss. So that's what was stated. Oh, actually, I didn't show Romero's Twitter feed, but it basically was covered in the article where he said, you know, he's been vindicated. So, Trill Dollar Bill, what's your reaction to what Rollie Romero had to say in the fact that he couldn't fight Tank? The whole spiel. What's your reaction to it?
Shout out to the boxer formerly known as Rollie. That's his new name.
I know, I saw it. I'm just thinking it's funny that you referred to
it. Yeah. That's because his name's been dragged through the mud and been slandered. You know what I'm saying? Just because of appearance. Just because of the way he looks or the way he might act. People all ran.
I'm sorry, bro. I just need to read this. Rollie said, I am now the symbol of freedom, purity, and love, known as the boxer formerly known as Rollie. Now all you hating MF can suck my big, fat, black rooster.
Yeah. But even better than that, right? Even better than that, before he gets to being Rollie, he said something that made you want to tug at your heart a little bit, because I felt him. As soon as these accusations came out and people would rush to judgment because of the way he looked, it reminded me of the things that I went through in my past, you know, being accused of things that you didn't do just because of the way you might look, or people might think how you are because they don't take the time to get to know you. But when he said after 3.5 months of my name being slandered with false accusations, having to miss out on opportunities, cheated out of my dream, and out of massive amounts of wealth, That right there. Missing out on opportunities and cheated out of your dream for something that you didn't do. Just because somebody says it, just and people all go rally behind it because of the way that you look and stuff like that. In a way, that's racism. I wish Rollie well. I wish Rollie well. He just has to know when you're different. When you're different or you express yourself different, this is what happens when you're different. When you're different, you become a target. And so it's easy for things to be pinned on you. You know, it's easy for people to attack you. You might come off and say, like Mike Tyson. When somebody would have said something back in the days about Mike Tyson, of course you was going to believe it because Mike Tyson came off like he was crazy. You know what I mean? So you're going to be like, yeah, he did it. You know? Because he was different. A lot of people have been falsely accused. There's people sitting away in prisons right now because of he looked a certain way or he did a certain way. And I just think that's a shame on you. Hopefully Rollie will be more careful about the people that he has around him now. And hopefully he has a good team around him now. And I see things have been a little different now, what they've been trying to do with Rollie. So keeping them away from certain people, maybe keeping because people will try to take advantage of people like that. Especially if they feel like you're a hardhead. There'll be somebody that want to talk trash to you in the club. That hopefully they can get you to swing at them so they can get a couple of dollars. This happens all the time. So I just want Rollie to be, well, the boxer formerly known as Rollie. I want him to be conscious that you are a target. You know, and hopefully he moves different from this point on. But I'm happy that the charges is dropping. He has been vindicated and that he didn't do nothing wrong. And the rest is history.
All right, Conspiracy.
I'm gonna look at it from a different approach. Because what Trill is saying, it could possibly be correct, right? However, from another angle, just because you wasn't found guilty, that doesn't mean you did not do it. And here's why. Sexual assault is difficult to prove anyways, because there's no evidence, right? Unless you got like a recording, a video, or you recorded any of the abuse marks or anything. But remember, there's no penetration. So there's no rape kit, there's no nothing, right? And the fact that it was 2 years ago, which I didn't know at the time, but now that we know it was 2 years ago, that's even harder to prove, right? So that doesn't necessarily mean Rollie didn't do anything wrong. It just means he wasn't found guilty, right? There's not enough evidence to actually convict, right? Well, so I could say, you know,
well, not said wrong. Even the detective said he didn't found it to be a sexual sip because when she told him that he felt uncomfortable in the stop, he ceased what he did. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to add that in there also what the detective said.
Yeah. So, but how I'm looking at it from a positive perspective. Let this be a learning lesson to all athletes, right? And this is why I agree with you, Trill. You gotta do a better job selecting, you know, your nightlife, right? And let's just be real. There's some athletes who pay for escorts, right? For this very reason. It's like, you know, you could risk it by grabbing somebody from the club, taking it back home. But who's to stop any shorty from saying, hey, he sexually assaulted me? Then you got to pay out people, this, that, and the third. Like, for example, we got Drake right now having a situation because he be safe and put hot sauce in his condom. You know, like it happens. Like these guys, like they're worth too much.
I thought about us making that a topic, but I said we ain't gonna make it a topic.
But like when you think about it, these guys are worth too much to be gambling with shorties that they don't know, right? So
that Drake story crazy, man. That Drake story crazy.
I ain't mad at Drake, man. I'm not even gonna lie, bro. I was like, yeah, that's kind of smart, but I mean, if he has to pay,
he's no dummy. Drake ain't no dummy, man.
But like, think about it. This is the world we living in now, where everyone's trying to have a come up, right? So let's just say Rollie was a victim of one of these hustles, right? Girl, and I don't know, but I'm saying hypothetically, A girl goes, "Oh, that's Rollie. Hold on, he's about to do a pay-per-view fight. Oh, Rollie." She calls Bob Aaron, not Bob Aaron, Al Heyman, or Mayweather or whoever, Ellaby. Hey, I need X amount of dollars to stay silent, or I'm going to police and I'm gonna air your man's out. That happens out here, right? So to me, it's like, yo, move safer, man. Like, honestly, Rollie, man, invest in a family, bro. Get a wife. It's always safer. You know what I'm saying? Than just gambling with these random shorties in the club. It's just true. You know what I mean? So I just want other athletes, other boxers to learn from Rollie's mistake. Not saying he did it or not. I'm just saying he put himself in a situation where this young lady could prevent him from generating millions of dollars. So that's all I want to say. And I will say this, because I remember when we first had the clip, and I was like, he looks guilty. I like to apologize. And then even within the chat under that video, I did apologize. A couple of fellas, brought up their situations in the past, right? But again, with sexual assault, you'd be surprised, man. It's not like a dude looks like a rapist. A dude looks like a sexual assaulter, right? It happens to good dudes. It happens to them guys who go to church like 5 days out of the week. You know what I mean? Men make mistakes. Women make mistakes. It's about, can you learn from that mistake and can you make amends, right? So with that situation, I don't know too much. So I will apologize to Rollie. I shouldn't have said he looks like a person that sexually assaults women. You know what I mean? That wasn't right on my behalf. So I like to apologize. I should never have said that. But that doesn't mean my man really is innocent. That's all I'm gonna say. So I try to be objective on this one. So my
Is this the new G? Is this the new G?
New year, new G, son. New hey man,
G said, "I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry."
Basically the same OG, right?
Yeah.
Basically the same OG, right?
Nah. Listen, I'm just saying.
Say, kind of sorry.
All I'm saying is it's still a possibility.
I'm sorry I said that, but you ain't been proven innocent, though.
That's real, though. That's just real. Like,
yo, G, dog, I'm going to start calling G Bama. You seen Get Rich or Die Trying with Bama. It's like, why is he behind me fidgeting? He said, yeah, I'm wrong, but even when I'm wrong, I could have been right. Oh, man.
Nah, I'm not gonna get too deep into this topic. I'm just gonna say, Rollie, you put yourself in a sticky situation, and this should be a learning lesson for you to know how to move from now on, and what's appropriate and what's not appropriate.
Ned, I see what you did there.
At any moment your career could be taken away from you, and just move cautiously and move wiser. Just let this be a learning moment for you, and I'm just. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything further. Yeah,
So growing up, of course, like a show that was very popular was the Boondocks. And I remember we were having like a real serious debate in like undergrad, and like we had like someone against the wall, like with facts and everything, and this person couldn't prove what they were saying, so they just went like, the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence. We all just started dying. Like, that's how you know you got nothing to say. But in many ways, that's what G is saying. He's just saying that the absence of evidence is not the evidence of absence, and he's saying that because Rollie is not facing any charges, it doesn't mean that nothing happened on the night in question. For me, my thing is simply this. I understand the seriousness of sexual assault. I understand that a lot of sexual assaults go unreported. And I understand that it takes a lot of courage to report sexual assault. I think, we want to be sensitive to that, and we want to respect that, but we also shouldn't have to overlook situations where people lost a lot based on false allegations. For example, Brian Banks, a young promising athlete who was falsely accused of rape when he was in high school, went to jail, and then years later was vindicated by a confession from his accuser, stating that it never happened. And his confession, his accuser inherited millions of dollars from the school as a result of the false allegation. And when asked if she would come forward and admit that she lied about the rape, her question was, do I got to give the money back?
Damn it, Mom.
You see, but she didn't know she was being recorded secretly. So think about the impact of that situation. Not only does it impact the person who went to jail for false accusations, but it affected an entire school system that was short millions of dollars to help students with their education. The Duke lacrosse team. The Duke lacrosse team were falsely accused of raping a stripper. Their names were dragged through the mud. They were kicked out of school. And it all boiled down to the fact that this stripper got drunk, behaved irresponsibly, and it was going to cost her her child. Her child was going to be taken into child services. So she made up the story that she was raped by the Duke lacrosse team so that her child wouldn't go her child wouldn't go into child services. You know, victimless, that's not victimless. You know, you listen to those young men talk about what it felt like to walk in a room and people actually view them and think they were capable of rape. They never got to finish. Do you know how hard it is to get in Duke? Do you know how hard it is to get a scholarship to play lacrosse at Duke? That's like the life. You know how much time, effort, and work it takes to be academically eligible for Duke and to make it there as an athlete? And just like that, taken away. I'm using these as examples because these are incidents that were proven to be false accusations that negatively impacted the lives of the people falsely accused. So although I don't know this situation with Rollie, is it unlikely that it may be false? And is it wrong to take into account that we should let due process play out before we force someone to give up their livelihood? Is that too much to ask? Is all I'm asking. Because would it have hurt to let Rollie fight Tank Davis in the midst of these allegations and let these allegations play out? And then we would have reached this point and he would have been able to make the money that he was slated to make, which was over 7 figures. And again, Rollie, someone who spent his life in the gym. You can see Rollie's life in the gym. Just go back and look at these old Mayweather prediction videos. Rollie's in there working, trying to become a star. He made it, and then he didn't. Over an accusation that was over 2 years old. And the other thing that gets me sometimes with the accusations is the timing in which a person comes out. It's you never want to diminish and you never want to make an inappropriate assumption. And you always want to remain impartial, like with the TC Bob thing, unless you want to remain impartial. But I don't think it's unfair to ask and to inquire as to why now. If this incident happened 2 years ago, why now? What's the motivation now? To sum it up, I do think that there's a victim at the end of the day. And not to say that Rollie didn't do anything, I don't know. But as Trill pointed out, as the article states, even if they take the story at face value, it doesn't meet the allegation for sexual assault, because when the woman said stop, Rollie stopped. There was a issue with Donald Trump. One of his accusers came forward and said they were on a plane. They met on an airplane. They started kissing, and he was feeling her upper body, and she was okay with that. She said then he went low below the waist, and she told him to stop, and it made her uncomfortable. And he stopped. that was her allegation of sexual assault against President Trump. And in my mind, I'm thinking like, damn, if that's sexual assault, then like, you know, we're in for a world of trouble.
Facts.
Because you were consenting to kissing, you were kissing him. He was, and it was okay. It seems like maybe he thought it was okay, but once he found out it wasn't, he stopped. Right? So this is where we get into gray area. Date, rape, sexual assault are the most difficult. It's easy when it's forced. Like it's easy to know, like I said no and you kept going. It's difficult when there's those lines.
But you know, it's just like now they're switching the rules up though. Like it used to be like once you hear no, stop. Now it's you better get consent up front. Like, and referencing the Drake situation again, the girl literally said, Drake asked, can I have sex with you? You know what I mean? So they have to like, I guess.
You done brought up the Drake situation so much, I feel like we just got to jump into it. All right, here's the allegation.
To be safe nowadays, you know what I mean? You got to ask her, can I have sex with you? It sounds corny, but you know what I mean? It ain't now. Back
you
then,
can do it in a smooth way, though. I ain't even go. I'll tell you.
You gotta get the consent now. Now it's like
I'll tell y'all off camera, but
hey, you can't wait for the no anymore. You gotta now get the yes. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
listen. Here's the thing, like you know, it's more like, yeah. In today's society, I wonder, you know, because it was kind of like. That used to be the thing. Like you would just like build up the confidence. Like I'm gonna go in for the kiss now. You know what I'm saying? What it is, and then you build it up, and then you go. Now there's no. It ain't happening that way. It's just like excuse me. The moment has struck me. And I would like to know if I am able to put my legs on you. You gotta get consent like every single time. It's like as you can see, I'm standing. And, I would like to engage in
today. Calling out a girl in public could be viewed as sexual harassment now. You know what I mean?
What? Like calling out a girl in public?
In public, yeah. You know what I mean? Like catcalling and stuff. Like back then it was okay. Now, nah, bro. You know what I
mean? I'll tell you, this game has changed. Like permission to give you a compliment. I like the dress. Nice outfit. Nice outfit. Nah, but let's get into the Drake situation for a second. Okay, so all right, this is gonna get PG-13. So if there are any young listeners, then you know if you're listening on this podcast, maybe you should get back when you're not around younger people or whatever. But Drake met an IG model. He asked if she would like to engage in relations. She said yes. He put on a condom. They engaged in relations. He went to the bathroom to discard the condom, but before he did that, he had a hot sauce packet that he squirted into the condom to kill any living organisms that were in that condom, tied it up, threw it in the trash. The woman, the IG model, then goes into the bathroom, takes the condom, and inserts the remains in, you know.
I'm looking at your face the whole time.
He starts to feel a burning sensation, and she runs out and she tells Drake. And Drake admits that, yeah, I put hot sauce in that. And then she wants to sue him now. So that's the story being told. I think the story originated from something called like Hot Tea, whatever. This is the story. I don't know how true it is or how legit it is, but this is the story going around. So yeah, that's what G keeps referencing.
Yeah, but hey, man, listen, I ain't mad at Drake on this one, man.
It's gonna be messed up. Drake gonna get in trouble. They gonna do something. How dare he? You know,
no, I keep thinking about this. Whether this story is true or not, you know, Drake's gonna mention it in his next album.
I want to listen to his next album just for that verse.
Yo.
For real. Oh man.
Y'all crazy, man.
Y'all finished? Y'all brothers finished?
Yeah, I ain't got that
All
more to
right,
say, but
man.
except I'm happy at least that Rollie can continue fighting. I feel bad that this situation even had to come up, but hopefully it teaches Rollie and other boxers moving forward that you have to be more cautious and you have to move in a manner in which you protect yourself at all times in these situations.
Definitely. Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. This is our 100th podcast episode. And we are the Boxing Bros.
You're welcome. You're all welcome.